Kim, take it from I've had it.
Okay, very good. I've had it, Erica. No, I'm tired of it. And I'm not the only one who sees it. A lot of people see it.
A lot of people see what?
They see you.
Me. Ha. What do they see?
They see what you do.
Well, whatever I do it well.
See?
I do it well.
You just
did
it.
I did do it. Whatever it is, I didn't do it on purpose. So go ahead, tell me. Say it. Say what you're saying. Because, no, you're talking too slow now. See, you got to be like a cheetah. Don't be like a turtle.
Erica! Turn around!
What?
Look here, baby sister. I ain't come all this way from Cleveland to see no chick fight. And I do love a good chick fight. Look here.
Yay!
He's here.
Huzzah! He's here.
Huzzah! All right, and welcome back to Reliving Single, the official, unofficial Living Single rewatch podcast. And I'm so excited today. You know why? Because my TV hubby is here. My dear friend is here. The extraordinary one and only John Hinton.
Yes. Oh, thank you, ladies, for having me.
Oh,
Thank
so
you
good
for
to see you.
being here. You look fantastic.
You look amazing.
Glowing. You're one of my most favorite people in the world. And it's
Oh.
because you bring the sun and the shine.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. Behave. See,
I
stop
can't.
it. Yo,
Whenever I see you, I want to swirl my nipples.
Oh, stop. Oh, that's it.
Okay.
Whoa,
Okay.
that's late night right there. I tell you what.
I tell you what.
Hey.
Tell you what.
All right.
So everyone wants to know, how did you get cast on Living Single? What's your story?
Hey, first thing that happened was we had an audition. I auditioned against everybody. It was Warner Brothers was packed. It was about, I got there the first day, it was 60-something people out there.
Wow.
And the line was out, Warner Brothers, the line was outside the door. And I walked in, and my landlord, I stayed right in North Hollywood, and my landlord, I told him I was going to be a handyman. And he said, well, you got to have a tool belt. So I walked down there with the tool belt, and I had one hammer in there. It wasn't no other tool, wasn't a screwdriver, nothing. It was the hammer, because that was, that was part of the scene. So I had a tool belt with a hammer, and I walked in there, and I saw Yvette, and she was laughing.
That's who she.
I'm sorry.
That's your
Yvette
love
Lee
name.
Bowser.
But you call her Yvette.
Yvette, because it's a Y. There's no reason for that. Anyway. So I see Yvette, and I found out that she wrote the show. So I was playing to her the whole time, because I'm like, if she laughing, I'm gonna get a gig. So I started playing to her, and I went there the first time, and I got a call back. That was like my first call back.
Oh, John.
So I come back. It's less people, but we're still doing it. And I think I went like 5 times, 6 times maybe. I mean, it got down, and it was just me and one other dude, and. I told him, I said, it was just me and one other cat. As I think about it now, it was horrible, but at the time I was just being honest. And I said, look here, partner, this show ain't for you. I didn't mean to take him out his game, because I think about it now, and I'm like, well, maybe he could have been so motivated. So you can't tell me that, and he did his best, but it wouldn't have mattered, because I was getting this show.
I know that.
I had to get the show. So I go in for the last reading, and the air conditioning was out.
Okay.
At Warner Brothers, and they was doing some work on the roof. And so it was real loud. So I'm doing this take, and this is money. This is the last one. I got to get this, right? So I'm doing my thing, and they up on the roof, and they start making some noise, and they say, oh, let's do it again. So I go back and do it again, and they start making some noise. The window was open. I stopped, went out to the window, said, shut the hell up. I'm trying to get a job. And they came back and did the gig.
My God.
And that's how I got this show right here. I told him, shut up.
Love it.
I got things to do. Yeah, well,
Thank you. But I love it. But it's time to go to work. So let's put you to work.
Okay.
What's going on today, Kim?
What's going on today is 2 best friends, Kyle and Overton, argue.
You go toe to toe with your boy Kyle.
Oh my gosh.
And You ready, champ?
Well, look, I don't know. If we're going to talk about argument between Kyle and Overton, I feel like it's 2-on-1. It's an argument. It's between me and TC. So he should be here.
Well, I
don't
think
you
you could
think?
hold it down.
Bro, I got you.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. TC Carson. Yeah,
Television's TC Carson.
nah, let's do this.
God.
Nah.
All right. It's time for the rewind, where we watch and relive Living Single with you.
All right, Slick, you ready to do this?
If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Watch dog.
Bow wow.
Come on.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So today we're reliving Living Single, season 1, episode 11, The Naked Truth. Now, in this particular episode, I see Khadijah naked.
Naked.
Oh, Lordy, Miss Claudia.
Y'all ready to rumble?
Might
Might as well.
All right, let's
Yeah,
go,
let's get
King.
it, yeah.
Let's go.
You women are so petty. You don't hear men talking to each other like this.
Oh, no, you're right, Kyle. Because you talk about Overton behind his back.
What'd you say, Kyle? I don't know, man. Nothing I wouldn't say to your face.
How about that 2-day rant you went on after Overton went along on your date with Melissa?
I'm sure Kyle has more to say. Overton, man, don't be so sensitive. How you gonna call me sensitive, mister? I need a baby wipe for my behind.
Regine is being really messy right now.
Yes,
Just
she
that
is.
cackling.
Yeah,
Just the
she
laugh.
did on purpose. She
cackling,
did
yeah.
it and then backed away from it. That's really messy right now.
Well, she had to do something in the scene to instigate. I mean,
You
they're
always
loving
jump
it.
on the horse, though.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But they all are loving this because this is unusual.
Yeah, we don't-
Yeah, we don't
never
fight.
are, yeah.
We don't fight.
No,
yeah.
Exactly.
So is this the first time that we've seen you argue then? I guess it is.
Yeah, this was our the drama.
And I think Yvette wanted to flip the script a little bit. She wanted to, that people always say that women are fighters and that men, they get along. But that's actually not true. I think that y'all fight. So maybe she wanted to, I don't know, break up the myth.
Yeah.
Do you think that men fight the same way that women do?
No, I
No.
don't think so.
How is it different?
Y'all dirty.
Yeah.
Y'all
Dirty?
y'all really nasty about how you do it.
Are we?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Because you know what buttons to push. Because the emotional toll.
Yeah, you got backstory, and y'all do some stuff from way back in the day. Y'all bring up some stuff, guys. We just cut right to the chase.
I know that's
Okay.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
we cut to the chase. Ain't
And
no
when it's
backstory.
over, usually it's over.
Yeah, usually, we'll fight and then it's over with.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Sometimes men create mortal enemies.
No,
has
but
to be
usually
over.
after you fight, then it's over with. But
Okay.
we actually will fight, and then
Is that better?
we'll fight, and then we're gonna get a beer, and it's over with.
Okay. Let me ask you this. What if it's something that is a moral issue, or you stole someone's woman or something? Does it, at what point does it become, that's it, we're done?
At this age, you don't really get upset with people. You just X them.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't, become, you don't,
Persona non grata.
you don't see them, you don't talk, you just X them out.
Okay, that's interesting. I love that you're including that there's an age. There's a wisdom that comes by a certain age. That
How is that
you decide.
wise, though? That sounds like emotional immaturity to say, I ain't going to argue. I'm just going to X you out.
Why would I continue to try to talk to someone who really doesn't want to have this conversation? And if you don't want to have the conversation, then it's like, okay, well,
Off you go.
We're done. Yep. Sometimes you cross the line, and it's like, hey, this ain't even worth talking about.
Right.
We done.
Well,
you don't get mad, just be done. That's all.
Don't get mad.
I ain't mad.
Just be
done.
done.
I want that T-shirt.
That's
Don't get mad. Just be done.
Be
Be
done.
done. That's
You
it.
got to decide how much it's worth it to you
Yeah.
to maintain.
well, for
Okay.
Kyle and Overton, they ain't done.
No.
Because,
No.
of course, they're more than
they're
friends.
brothers.
They're brothers.
They're
So
brothers.
it's
yeah.
going,
And brothers fight, but it's still family.
that's what's up.
Overton just brought Kyle's mother into it. Oh, they're about to box. Maybe we should stop up for a visit.
You are awful. You started this whole thing, Max.
I did, didn't I? It's a gift. I don't own it.
Mind if I use the phone? I want to call the YMCA. I'm sure there's a cot with my name on it somewhere in this big, lonely, concrete Jungle.
Oh, nonsense, Overton. You can stay with us.
Now, I love the way you grab the pillow. It's sort of a passive aggressive experience of like just maybe we'll get the idea that you want to stay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, not too subtle.
It was, yeah,
Not too
I didn't want to stay at the YMCA.
No, who wants to stay at the
You know, like
YMCA?
I could stay down here and be near the
But it's
Sinclair.
the quick pack of trunks and luggage and bags that are still upstairs. That's
Y'all
a
wanna help
quick
me with the
pack.
heavy
That's
stuff?
a quick
Look.
pack.
I got
Good
more
stuff.
stuff.
And it hurt so bad that you did the thing that would hurt him the most in this moment is you're throwing his albums out the window.
Yeah,
which
he
I'm
threw my
sure-
tools down.
Well,
hey, look here.
Yeah,
Let them
that's
albums got to
real.
go.
so y'all went for the gold
Jugular.
in those. You went for the jugular. Went for the
Jugular,
jugular.
Yeah, but you know, this is also the first time we hear Regine say,
Oh, sucky now.
but it's actually your character.
I said it first.
That's right.
I was the first one to say
in the
it.
first
She was the
episode,
one.
I think, right?
Sure
Fo-
did.
Foyce?
The voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it became Regine's sort of
Yeah,
mantra,
she took it.
but it was established by your character.
Of course.
Yep, you say, of course.
Because, you know, I established some stuff.
By the way, I do have to ask a quick question.
Mhm.
Why would you, as the superintendent and the handyman of the building, be leaving? Shouldn't that be your apartment?
Moving on.
Well, but
I'm gonna go and shave.
Good idea. Overton, we have a bathroom for that.
You know, it's funny how every household has their own rules.
Yeah.
Oh, be in the bathtub.
Cue the chaos. So let's talk about this. I personally love that you're wearing a shower cap
Thank
on
you.
top of your hat.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's comedy
That's
right there. Was that your
hilarious.
idea?
yeah, I think so. That first year, I always had the hat, you know,
Yeah.
because, you know, I was losing my hair. So I always had a hat on. Or either a lot of spray and powder.
They would fill it in, wouldn't it?
I was so mad. It's like I finally get a show and get my big break and my hair started falling off. But, you know, you saw I came back the next year. So
Yeah,
you know,
you came back second
Bald-headed.
season,
Mhm.
ball headed.
I ain't tell nobody.
Didn't discuss it with the
I
network.
just walk in with
Just walk
Wyvette,
in.
nobody. I just
But you
came
have a
in.
nice shaped head, so you could do that.
Oh,
Well, you know, thank you.
Yeah.
Amazing. By the way, you know, there he is sitting there, you know, Overton in his robe. I have to tell you, you are so fine in that robe.
Oh,
You can
You look
see
amazing.
your
Oh.
fantastic
Oh,
body.
stop it,
You
stop
look,
it.
No,
You
and you
look
have
comfortable in that
those,
home.
those
please.
snake hips.
Oh,
yeah,
that people
you're sinewy.
Just
so
stop it.
good.
You know how humble I
No,
am.
but it's true. That's one of the sexiest things he ever wore.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
his
yeah.
robe.
Yeah. So you walk in and she's getting, and I love that she has a leg that just, you know, pops out of the shower.
Yeah.
And then here you are.
Nice leg,
Go
too.
in the bathtub.
Now, where's that from?
No.
Singing in the bathtub.
Oh, be in the bathtub?
Bugs Bunny?
Singing in the bathtub.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't take long.
That's
you know.
right.
You have an encyclopedic knowledge of comedy and animation and cartoons and funny people, and you pull from all of that and then you make it your own. So that was Bugs Bunny. Thank you for that.
It was.
Thank you.
It was. That's
That was
all.
it.
The first year, that's all I did was just pull from different sources because that was my first acting gig. I hadn't acted since I was in like high school or
Okay.
something.
Let me ask you, because you have such a different personality, John Hinton versus Overton, to me. And yet you lean very much into, I think, the freedom of feeling, you know, kind of young and I don't know, a lot of places where men don't like to go. They want to be the one that knows, and you sort of held your strength, your masculinity right next to something that was much more fragile and naive and playful. I love that.
I thought that's what the character called for to match with Sinclair, and that's why those two worked so well together. You know, because they were very similar, and it's like everybody on that show and everybody that watched knew those two were gonna get together.
That's true.
You know, so that was it. I was just trying to line up with her, and and it worked
Where are you
out.
from? You're from Cleveland originally.
Cleveland, Ohio. Yes, ma'am.
And they
Well,
made the
yeah.
character from Cleveland, and you all were best friends as
Yeah.
children in Cleveland
In Cleveland.
as well.
Yes, went to school together.
Yeah, because I asked Wyvette, I'm like, where the characters from? And she said, I don't know. I said, they're from Cleveland. And then we started incorporating things, and that's how we got the when the Browns left Cleveland and Jim Brown was on the show and all of that,
all
you know.
this
So
richness.
it was yeah.
Yeah, right. Let's talk about this
Did we get-
scene.
yeah.
Khadijah gets out the shower,
Yes.
and there you are seeing her. I want to know, what was she wearing? What was she really wearing in that scene?
She had like a
The bodysuit.
bodysuit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the bodysuit, and to cover up all that goodness.
Yeah.
Great day in the morning.
But
And
we
then,
noticed it wasn't overly sexualized. They
No.
didn't sort of do that. It was like seeing a sibling.
And we had to do it that way, because it was just that scene. That was like our first like risque type scene, I guess. Of anybody like supposedly naked, So we had to play it, and Overton got to play it like a kid anyway.
Yeah,
I
it
could
was-
like after we hollered for a while, and then I just looked and I just went, and then Wabet said, no, we're not doing that. But after like about the fourth or fifth take, we could always play. And that's the
Yes.
thing. We still nothing but kids, man.
Yeah,
All we did
that's
was
true.
play. And it's like sometimes people will say, it looked like y'all were really having fun on that show. I'm like, man, what you saw on the show is nothing compared to what we did. Like sometimes I would tell people, it's like, you never see the funniest take.
Right.
Because the funniest
Right.
take, Erica would do something and the audience will laugh for a minute. It's like, we don't have a minute for laughter. So the funniest ones don't get through. They cutting everything for time. So it's
For
like,
sure.
because we would just have fun. And
We
then
had
it's like,
so much
and then they
fun.
say 5, 4, 3, 2. It's like, all right, come on, let's go on and do
Let's
this.
do this.
And then, so we can get back to playing.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, you were playing, and then I think it was nice to see the juxtaposition between your character and the ladies, downstairs, because you were shaving in their sink. It was
Yeah.
kind of disgusting. I'm not gonna lie.
It really is.
I didn't know.
Especially when I blew the whiskers
Oh,
in the
God.
And welcome
It
to
was
Kyle's
sloppy.
world. That was Kyle's world.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's
That's
what.
So
There
now
you
we're
go.
getting a
Yeah.
taste of what's really going on upstairs.
Yeah.
Do you have any deal breakers when you're living with somebody? Something you don't like? Like, look,
that's a good
do
question.
not do this in the sink, or
No cats.
No cats.
No
I'm with you.
cats.
Yeah. Okay.
No cats.
Do you have any rules?
No.
What about
do you have any?
I do. No crumbs in the bed.
Oh God,
No
yeah,
crumbs in
that
the
might
bed.
be mine
Snack in the
too.
bed.
that's
No
not
crumbs?
good. That's not
However,
good.
farting fully allowed. Anytime, anywhere.
that's how you get the crumbs.
the.
What you talking about?
No.
When you think comes out the other end, it's not just smoke.
Oh my gosh. Not just smoke.
I meant
There's
the
ashes
crumbs.
and all sorts
I
of
mean
stuff
the
on the
crumbs.
other side.
Okay, let me clarify. The crumbs from the eating of the cookies or the snacks or the pizza.
But
Where
your
are the
ass
cru-
crumbs are okay. I think that listen.
Why
you
do
gotta
you
take
have
a fart.
ass crumbs?
What?
Well,
I don't know
she
anybody
said-
with ass crumbs.
She said you can fart, but
Oh.
you can't put some cookie crumbs. I'd
Right.
rather take the cookie crumbs. No, any day.
Then gas? Oh, I think
Well,
gas is fun.
I think the audience should decide. Do
Yeah.
you want somebody who's gaseous?
Yeah.
Or somebody who
Oh,
eats
just
I
somebody.
wanna know how
somebody
this
It's not, an,
conversation
it's not an
died
either
here.
or. I'm giving you my list of. I'm letting you
Okay.
one. Okay. What about you?
go with God? For me, I have quite a few. But
Of course you do. Of course you do.
She's particular. This one's
No, but it's
particular.
the way I grew up, because I grew up, we all 5 in the same bedroom.
Oh,
And we
okay.
only had our side of the
Your
bed
little
and a
space.
pillow and one drawer and whatever. So I can be very sort of just like, wait a minute, that's my side. But I'm not really like that in life. But I don't like anybody sitting on my bed, because I feel like that's the nest in their
Okay,
outside clothes.
Oh, agreed. Agreed.
I got you.
Agreed.
To me, please don't do that. And other than that, I'm pretty easy to
Okay.
live
Okay.
with. Yeah,
Okay.
except for the other 10 things. But I won't bring those
Except
up.
for ass crumbs. How do you get ass crumbs?
Look,
Who have you?
When you
been-
fart, it floats out.
Oh
And
wow.
some-
But it's not.
Wow.
It's
but
just gas.
none
Good
of
luck,
this is on the
kid. I don't
teleprompter.
need this.
Look,
I don't need this.
How
do
you
we have a
ever-
script here? Where
But how do
something
you
has
hold
gone
a
terribly
You're right,
wrong.
you're right. Next clip.
Wait, is there another clip? Yeah, let's run that.
Maybe I should just pack up my steamer trunk and hit the curb.
Overton, you do not have to go.
But you got to promise to chill. Look, you trying so hard not to be in the way, you tripping all over yourself. Just get back. Put your feet up on the table.
Really?
Sure.
Wow. Kyle never lets me do this at home.
What you mean Kyle never lets you? Don't let him run you.
Oh, he doesn't run me. He just suggests things over and over again until I do what he says.
Oh, Overton, it's not healthy to let people walk all over you. Unless, of course, that someone employs you and gives you a place to live. Then you just don't have a choice. Huh?
You know, that's a good point. I should have a long talk with Kyle.
Sure, go right upstairs.
Yeah, why don't you take your bags for good luck?
Ooh, we've got compassion for you. So how do we deal with the compassion that we have for you versus the comfort of you just coming and taking over? Of course, Sinclair wants you there.
Yeah, but the women always looked out for me.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
that's the thing. And that's why I was there in the first place. You know,
Yeah.
regardless of what Regine was saying, it's like y'all always looked out for me. And on the show, we all looked out for each other.
We did, very much so.
And that was the thing.
Because Kyle Overton's Khadijah, because you're kind of bossy and rigid, and you know Sinclair has that. They kind of mirror each other.
It really
These
is
characters,
interesting, yeah.
but they have a different version of that. But for Overton, you're like his overseer. Am I wrong for that? Am I wrong for that?
That's his boy.
Yeah.
Well, why are you trying to always tell him what to do?
He's a little more, he feels that he's a little more well-read.
Okay.
And so he knows a little more. He wants his boy to know the proper way to do things. Overton has more common sense
Yes.
than Kyle does at times.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear it in the wisdom that he talks about when he uses his down-home Uncle Tibby and all those people. If you really listen to what he's saying, he's really dropping knowledge.
All the time. all the
Dropping
time.
knowledge. That's why Kyle is his boy,
Okay.
because Kyle understands that.
People always talk about avoidant personalities online and that type of thing, that men can be avoidant personalities, like they'll push down things and not talk about things and that. What do you think? Is that real? Sort of walk away as opposed to deal with things?
This is way too heavy for me. I just came here for some laughs and we talk about the script. Now y'all talking about some stuff.
I was trying to be quiet.
But no, that's what I'm saying. You know,
Trying to be quiet.
All right.
I'll be upstairs if you'd like to talk. No, we can settle it right here. All you got to do is apologize. For what, man? Look, I'm going home. Are you coming? I have a home right here. And this is where I'll be when you decide you're sorry. Well, then you had better file a change of address because you are not getting an apology from me. Get out of our house.
Get out of our house. Okay, so enough is enough.
So we see Overton standing up for himself.
Yeah,
Right?
that's good.
And but we see this beautiful moment where you're like, enough is like you said this is what guys do. Like they fight and then they go, all right, man, that's it. So you would come in like going, come on, bro, this is enough. Come on up, come on home.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But you're like egged on by us.
Yeah, because y'all let me be me. See, it's your fault. It's really your fault.
I gotta be me.
Y'all let me do it. So so now I'm standing my ground.
Do you think that Kyle gives a sort of non-apology in that scene?
The fact that he came downstairs.
Yeah.
Was the apology?
Yeah.
That was the apology.
And
The
he was
fact
supposed to get
came-
that,
He
wasn't
came
he?
downstairs,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do men know how to apologize?
Some do.
I think some do.
Some
you?
do. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Okay.
When I was younger, no.
Mm.
What made the change? What made the difference?
Experience.
Okay.
So even if you
Yeah.
felt that you had done something wrong, air quotes,
hmm
you still wouldn't apologize?
When I was younger, no, I would change my behavior, but I wouldn't apologize.
Oh, guess what? That's the best apology of all. You change your behavior. Because actually, there's some people say, don't give me an apology, change your behavior.
would change
Let me
my
see
behavior.
an action. I don't want no apology. Give me action. That's
John, do
good.
you know how to apologize?
Now I do.
Mm.
When I was younger, it was just about winning the argument,
Okay.
And that's all. It's like, well, only thing I was worried about was what somebody did to me. When you get older, you realize that it's just more important to be happy.
That's
Can you
real.
say that again?
Please.
Well,
please.
I said it once, but I will.
I'm
No,
with
say it
you.
again.
I'm
It's
into
more
happy.
important to be what?
When you get older, you realize it's more
Life is
important to
short.
just be happy.
Yes,
Right.
You know,
sir.
it's like nobody's got time to go back and forth. I get into arguments and just think like, well, this is what I'm gonna say next time. Because we in the argument
Planning on
now,
the script.
and I know she's gonna do this. So here we go. You're going back and forth, and it's like, come on. Or you can just be happy and just say, look, it's not that major. It's a lot of things that I wish I'd have done different, and. It was. I know it's a growing thing, but I just look back on who I was then, and I don't really like what I saw. I tried. I did the best I could at the time, and
But you wouldn't be able to sit in where you are now if you hadn't gone through what you did then.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you for saying that.
This is going to help someone watching this so much, these kinds of conversations, that self-reflection and action.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Because repair isn't gender specific.
It is not.
You know what I mean?
No, it's not.
Repair. No.
Yeah.
Woo.
All right.
Is there another clip? I believe there is. In 5,
There's
4,
more?
3.
So how is it living here all alone? Having fun with your albums?
Yeah, what's left of them. That was really small, man.
No smaller than dropping a man's heritage hammer down the dumbwaiter.
Okay. So things got a little out of control.
Hey, man, but what you said, that really hurt, man.
Overton, man, what did I say?
You said something about,
honestly, man, I really can't remember.
Me either.
So wait, it sounds like there's really nothing to apologize for.
Guess not.
Well, then what do you say we just forget all this and you move back in? Look, I'm not telling you, I'm asking you.
I missed y'all. That's all. I missed y'all. That's it. I love the way that all came together. But I was looking at that shirt with Overton on there, and it used to drive me crazy. I told Yvette, I said, why do I have to, every week, I got to have this shirt on with my name? People know when she said, nope, we're going to keep doing it. She said, because people going to know your name.
Oh, wow.
And they know
I walk through airports and people know my middle name. They say, that's Overton Wakefield Jones.
Come on.
Yvette was so, she did that. And I'll never forget her.
Yeah.
For saying that. And people just, they really did know my name. And to this day, they might not even know the show. They might not say, well, but I know you was Overton. They got that, So it was like shout out to the creator of the show and Miss Lee Bowser.
Now, this is a powerful moment because the men make up.
I mean, the 90s pushed a certain type of toxic masculinity. It just did. That's the age of gangster rap coming in and hoes and, the idea of bros before hoes. And you guys were the antidotes, Overton and Kyle. You're the blueprint for the future inside of a world that was turning decidedly darker when it comes to how men saw women.
Yeah, but look who we had to work with. We had y'all. So we had to do it. What else could we do? We're so fortunate to get this cast together and to work with each other and knew what we were presenting every week. And people coming up and showing that love. Every time that apartment door opened up, somebody's favorite character was walking in.
That's true.
And that was the thing. So we got to look out for y'all. That's what we do. Shout it.
And it was family from the beginning.
Yeah.
It was family from the beginning.
Yeah.
And it was a safe space. It was a space to be creative. It was a space that you could actually leave yourself open for something strange to happen. And a lot of times they would keep it.
And then you learn so much from Baby Sister because she would pick up a glass and make you laugh. She was all about, you would stage business.
Yes.
She was all about some
find
business.
Something to do.
Look at her.
Find something
when she
to
started
do.
eating.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
That was you.
Right. Give me
something to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like you pick up on it. And that's what I was trying to, because like I said, it was my first acting gig. So I was just picking up on things that all of y'all did. So it was just, that was me. I was just like a sponge.
You're generous because you poured into us as much as you were taking in, if not more, because just your very presence said something about our authenticity.
So there's a legend of the two of you, again, taking care of us not only on the set, but off the set. So as a cast, we would go places. We would go on PR trips and, PR appearances. And you all had the generosity to not only be the stars that you are, but you would also be protecting us. And there's a couple of stories of you playing security, whether you wanted to or not.
We had to.
For the four of us.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
As we are with our ladies, with our sisters, you have to be security.
That's it.
Yeah, and we didn't really think about we did have security every once in a while.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
But you say you had to as if what else?
That's,
we supposed to do?
what else
we
we
supposed to do?
Somebody had to look out for you.
Right.
Like you. One time we were somewhere, and this guy he wanted an autograph.
Uh-huh.
He comes up to Kim Coles. He wants an autograph. He's like, I don't have a pen, but I'll give you a hug. And I'm like, no, you don't do that. That's what she would do. And one time I was on the elevator with little Kim Fields, and this guy gets on afterwards, and obviously he a fan. I see him looking at her, and he's a fan, and she's going to punch the button on her floor, and I'm like, oh, back up, go pick your floor, fella.
Yeah.
He was just on there trying to see, so we had to look out for her. And that's what we did, So
See, isn't that how sexy that was? No.
No.
Pick your floor, fella.
Go ahead,
but that
sir.
right there was like something that not necessarily a network and or producers could give us. By the way, we did have security. We had Michael Clark Duncan at the door.
Yeah,
We
sure
had
did.
Michael
Yeah, we
Clark.
did.
Yeah, we did.
We
Right.
did.
we
And
did.
yet we had our personal, brothers who would literally like, I don't know, you saw things before we saw.
Yeah, I was
could
gonna
hear
say
y'all saying, go somebody get baby sister. So go get her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had to look at the big picture, because y'all were just in the moment. Y'all were just out there, love, exciting, and new. Y'all were just bored. See, y'all was just going, I'm sitting there watching, making sure everything is cool, because I'm seeing people looking at y'all certain ways. So, yeah.
And that was
that's
the
what we
other
did.
thing, like the attention was on you all.
Mm.
And neither one of us really craved that kind of attention.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, you.
And I have to say that at least in my life, it's the standard.
Oh, yeah.
It's the standard.
Yeah.
No one should do less than what y'all did for us in
Oh.
terms of how we pick and choose men.
Mm. Did you feel our love back at you? Was it returned in full
Oh.
measure?
Not at all.
Okay, good
Yes,
answer.
we did.
Just some
course we did.
self-centered women, too, man. That's the thing. You can't
Hope
do
you
enough.
felt it back.
But-
Hope you felt it back.
Oh, come on.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we felt it.
Yeah.
Y'all-
Again, it was fun. It wasn't going to work. You went to go hang out with your people.
Gosh.
You went to go hang out with your people and make some magic.
Mhm.
That's what work was. And you got paid.
You all have this patented handshake, greeting, dap. Tell us all about the Watchdog Bow Wow, what it comes from, what it means, so the audience fully understands.
It came from the pilot.
pilot.
We were cheating doing some game because we pointed to the watch and barked or something. I was like, "Oh, it's Watchdog." Yeah, so,
And then Bow Wow.
Yeah.
Bow Wow.
Bow Wow.
Brilliant.
So that was
Brilliant.
where it came from. And then the Bow Wow just came later.
So that became your special sitcom, catchphrase or brotherhood dap.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that was that.
Watchdog.
love
Bow
it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It had rhythm, it had music, it had a musicality to it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And you knew that everything was gonna be all right when y'all watched Bow Wow.
yeah.
It just shows also how fast your mind works.
Yeah.
Like Watchdog. He barks, points to his watchdog.
Yeah.
They don't bow. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you all have any pre-show rituals or pre-show, moments that you used to ground yourself before we worked each week?
No, I didn't.
Other than we
Pray.
would pray.
We
We
Yeah, we
pray.
would
would
yeah,
pray
we
as a
prayed.
group. We
Yeah.
would pray.
We prayed and
And then we would have a post ritual after tape night. Once we went to Tuesdays, we would go over
To the Hilton.
To the
to
Hilton.
my
Hilton.
hotel.
Hilton.
Yeah,
And
to
sit in the
the
lobby
fabulous, yeah, and
and
just sit there,
have-
and nobody knew who we were.
Nope.
And we were on like this
And
hit
drink.
show, and we sit there and just every Tuesday night.
I got a lot of pictures from
Ooh,
those.
I
I
need
want to
to
see
see
them.
those.
I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
and whoever our guest star was, sometimes they would come
They would come
over
out.
and be with us.
Yeah, I was enjoying the
Enjoying-
moment, man.
enjoying-
It
Yeah.
was just like
And
look at
recapping.
what we're doing. It's like and nobody else knew us.
No,
Right.
Because this is it's like before the show even aired. But it was
Mhm.
always cool. We would always get together. And we were always tight from the beginning.
Tight like glue.
This is The Reverb, our time to reflect on the episode's themes and how they still echo throughout the culture.
So why do you think Kyle and Overton's relationship was so special?
I think we played well together. We were two totally different people. We were friends all through school, back home in Cleveland. And we brought that and we had that love that's how we ended up in New York. But we were different people, and we everybody stayed in their lane. It's like he did his thing, I did my thing, and we just meshed because we had been friends for so long. So it was just a natural thing. That's what I thought. What about you?
You got an odd couple too, like blue collar, white collar, metropolitan,
it was Felix
country.
and Oscar.
Country and very good friends. Definitely.
And it was, I think,
I could have just said that instead of just I could have just cut right to the chase. But you are so wise.
Well,
you
so
cut.
wise.
You see what she did. But go on and tell her. But she already told us what's happening. But go on.
Well, I think it was us both coming to LA too. We were both new to the city. All this was both new to us. And so, and our friendship was new. So coming to LA, we were both experiencing this whole new world. And so we didn't have a whole lot of friends.
So you bonded
I know
on
I
that
didn't.
too?
Yeah. I know I didn't. So we were, my closest person was the person I was going to work to.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that helped to fuel the friendship on stage. Again, that was with everybody, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That was we were out there, and I didn't have a car at first. I was walking to the ranch. Remember, I lived around the corner.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you all were my world.
Yeah.
So it's fortunate that you found in John, and John, you found in TC, the type of integrity in a man that you could hang out with and even be friends, because it could have turned out real different. Like you enjoyed, so you were different, you were coming from a different place, but still you found common ground to find. And I think it's the integrity, because you both have
good people.
incredible. You're both good people.
Good people, yeah.
Yeah, we were outsiders. Like I said, I think I had been here a few more years than you, but it was just the fact that we had something. We both realized how special it was to be with you guys. Remember, we did the pilot, and during that summer, little Kim Fields had that play,
and we went in.
And we
all
went.
Winnebago.
We got the Winnebago.
All that she rented a Winnebago for us.
And so we were just cool from the start, and it was like so that was just family. But like I told you all the time, Tuesday night.
Yeah.
What I do, I fall in love, because I see y'all come out of makeup, I see y'all dressed up, and we would sit in the back, and like the audience would just go crazy, and we would try to figure out which outfit it was. We'd say, oh, that's Latifah, okay, that's Queen. And then one time, Kim Fields had that gold lame or something on.
Wow.
We called her Peaches. We said, that Peaches right there.
You had no extra nicknames for us that we didn't even know about.
Yeah, we threw some stuff around, but we would just sit there and watch and just love the audience reaction, because the audience loved you as much as we did.
And the male fans obviously reacted to you because you're a stockbroker. Mm-hmm. You say you got a lot of play. Like, can you talk a little bit about how people related to you?
I've had young people, young brothers come up and say they understood how to actually have conversation with women by listening to Kyle and how he dealt with you.
That's frightening.
No, but think about the conversations he had with Khadijah, and the conversations he had with Regine, and the conversations he had with Sinclair.
Mm-hmm. He did.
So there was the comedy broad pieces, like you women are always this, that, but there would always be a grounded moment in there somewhere.
And it was never disrespectful.
Never.
Yeah.
It was never mean. Well, it was
y'all would have your moments.
Cut spirited, but not mean.
Not except to everyone except for Max. Which is fine.
Was he really mean?
Is that a joke?
Yes.
Were you there for 5 years? But they were mean to each other on purpose.
But was that mean though?
But the jokes
that's because y'all loved each other.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So obvious.
Foreplay.
So was it mean? If it was foreplay, was it mean?
Because if it turns you on, it doesn't mean it's not mean.
Yeah.
Oh, but what does it say about you if it's mean and it still turns you on?
She's one twisted sister.
That's some sick stuff. There you go. There you go. You cut right to there you go. That's some sick twisted stuff right there. It's like, that's a turn on. Yeah. See? And there she goes. And we go right back to that.
Back to the nipples.
Hey.
We're never too far away.
By the way, Nipplegate. By the way, they did let your character play with your nipple.
He did.
They did.
Several times.
He got to play with his nipples.
Well,
and
several
mine, they
times.
kept hiding. They kept putting more and more, padding over. 'cause
As well
said,
they
and
should.
they'd whisper, we can see your nipples. And
That's
I'm like,
right.
he's playing with his.
Yeah,
And
but that was
Joe,
different.
you
Yeah,
said as
nobody
well you should.
cared. Nobody cared about mine. But yours, on the other hand, y'all was getting all them letters from the prisons. Oh, y'all big. Oh, and it's like, look, you can't do that to them prisoners. They sitting there watching every week, and they looking, they just waiting for that one time that Band-Aid don't do his job. But I did look. I've said too much. I've said too much. But yeah, it was really cold in the studio.
It was very cold.
And,
It was cold all the time.
Yeah, it was very
All
cold.
the time.
So Band-Aids,
natural reaction.
we would always just stop. And we'd have to stop every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, somebody needed,
a nipple coverage.
Yeah, we
But,
need.
that's a credit to you all too that you didn't ever make us
Never.
feel, like even if something was a little too much cleavage, so it wasn't like auga, auga. It was like, baby sister, you might want
to tighten that up.
You might
a
want to
little
tighten that up.
That's true. And they would say that.
Yeah. So what have men said to you, John, about your character?
It was the best feeling was like from my friends at home who thought it was legit. It was authentic. It was like, man, I ain't know you, and that was the best feeling to get love from your hometown and your actual friends who. Like I had real friends that would sit up there. They wouldn't just say something was good when it wasn't.
Okay.
And it was like they thought it was legit. And that was always a great feeling. Best compliments I got, the best, was from Sir Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh,
what?
Wow.
I was at some reward show, and
Here's a reward.
I'm dressed up all nice and stuff, and this guy grabs my shoulder, turned around, and it's Lawrence Fishburne, and he just looked at me, and that's an intense brother.
For sure.
For sure.
And you got to be ready for this intensity. And he looked at me and said, we all know your character. We've all grown up with your character. We love your character. And he just told me what a great job. And I'm sitting there. That was Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah. And he said he likes what I'm doing. And that just knocked me out.
Wow.
Yeah, I never considered myself an actor. I was a stand-up that got a very fortunate stand-up, because it was at a time when they were using stand-ups. And to get that kind of love from these people that you really respect and they doing good work. And when he said that, I was like, man, maybe I got something there.
Maybe I got
So that was the best. But getting that love from your hometown and people that you really respect and you admire and they like what you're doing,
Incredible.
that's, you can't beat that.
I want to know, what moment did each of you feel that this was a hit or that this was going to work? You're like, this is it. Uh-oh.
The tango. Because again, they cut it. They can cut what they want to cut. They can let it go when they want to let it go. So I wasn't really looking for it to go long.
Oh, you mean they can cut a series short?
Yes.
So you weren't looking forward to got it.
Yeah.
You had a decidedly sort of pessimistic point of view
Absolutely.
about
I was looking
its
for
chances.
the next gig.
You like wait and see.
I told her the same thing.
Even
I
with
said,
the
to me, it was a
cliffhanger like
gig.
that?
I was looking for the next gig.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I told Kim, I said, coming in, and to me, I said, it wasn't what people thought, like, oh, when did you know? I was like, what? It was a gig. I kept thinking about, I'm going to go to New York soon. I didn't think like you, because by that time, we were #1 in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't believe your own lying eyes.
But I wasn't watching it. I wasn't paying attention
That's
to
right.
that.
You all weren't watching it.
I wasn't paying attention to none of that. I was doing music.
Understood.
Yeah.
And what about you?
I knew we had something special, the pilot. When y'all was singing My Girls. I said, we got a show. I knew that. Watching y'all in the bathroom and you with the plunger or whatever,
Gross.
and everybody, you had the curling on, toilet water or something, And I'm like, oh, we got something. And the reaction from the crowd, and people loved you.
They did.
They did.
They
I
did.
knew that from jump. It wasn't a matter of if we got a show or not. It's like, oh, we got a show here. I was watching y'all, and I'm just sitting in the back, and I just had the biggest smile on my face. I knew pretty early.
Even as personalities here, you're the yin and the yang. You think, no, it's not going. You need a whole year. You're from the beginning. It's going to go. And the relationship together, you know, as the characters and in you, what do you think the legacy of that is?
Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Brotherhood.
They took care of each other.
Yep.
And they took care of their community.
Mm-hmm.
And I think those are two things that are really important for us right now in this country right now. We have to take care of each other and take care of our community.
Mm-hmm.
So we love having both of y'all here. And we don't want to let you go.
Ever.
No. So let's play a game. Truth or challenge? No, kids, this is similar to Truth or Dare. And we ask you to choose from the truth pile or the challenge pile.
Okay.
Okay? So truth or challenge?
Why don't you go first?
All right.
Okay, you want to do John?
I'll do John.
Okay, go.
Truth or challenge?
This is going to be fun, right?
Yeah, okay. It's not going to hurt.
All right. No, because see,
that was my question.
So they said it's going to be fun.
It's not gonna hurt.
Truth.
Okay, is it true that you used to slip me the tongue?
Oh. Inquiring minds want to know.
You said this was going to be fun.
That wasn't fun.
You know, the thing is, I was a method actor. Yeah.
Actually, we would slip each other the tongue.
Yeah,
and they would have to call cut. You know, they'd be like, oh, John, Kim, we got that cut. We got that one. John, Kim.
Yeah.
Kim, John, we got that one. It's like, hey, listen, I am also method. So thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for always having fresh breath.
Truth or challenge? Truth. Did y'all actually have a thing with each other?
A thing?
That's another
y'all
question.
Slipping tongues?
Yeah.
We kept it professional.
Yeah, we were very
a professional thing.
We're very professional.
Professional.
That's it.
Okay.
That's all I
TC,
Yes.
truth or challenge?
Truth.
Is it true you and Erica, me, were buck naked underneath that kente cloth?
Oh, well.
No, we were not buck naked.
I was.
We were semi-naked.
What's semi-naked?
Parts were covered. And parts were not covered.
Biggest
You know what?
parts.
And he complained that they didn't give him a big enough cover for his part.
I didn't.
Now that's
There
a
were
challenge.
several complaints
That's a challenge.
lodged. I don't think this is going to cover.
That's enough.
Thank you. Thank you for playing
Well,
our
that was fun.
Is it true that
Was it?
That was fine.
Is it true that UTC slipped me, Erica, more than the tongue on that white dress episode?
No. That was a hot ass episode.
It was.
but
It was.
No,
Did he slip you the tongue? Did you slip him
No,
the
slip
tongue?
me more than the tongue.
More than the
Uh-huh.
tongue. Oopsie
Backstage.
daisy.
Mhm.
Oh, suck it out. For
we
real.
were never a thing, but
you
you
might
know what?
get addicted.
It really
Like,
it was so nasty when you did that.
Oh, my
I
God.
actually,
You Scorpios.
you see me break up. That's me breaking up. Like, God.
Well, I'm going to ask
Okay.
John this one. It's just a wild. Is there someone, a guest star that came on the show that you would have dated?
Oh, that's.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Not as pretty as our fourth, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
But we had a few stunners, some showstoppers come through there.
Couple.
Couple. Cause,
I told you, John loves women.
Yeah,
He
yeah. A
does.
couple
All shapes, all
showstoppers.
sizes. That's the other thing. You never made us feel as if, and you mentioned that our bodies were wrong at any point. And that's not always the case behind the scenes. You know, the
Yeah.
suits are like you're gaining too much weight or you're not this or you're too much this or not enough this.
And I was
Y'all
back
love
there
this.
feeding y'all snacks. It's like, far as I'm concerned, there could never be too much of you here. Help us out. Help us. I always had snacks.
We do.
Always.
You know I believe in
Eat, mama.
snacking. You know
Eat.
I believe in snacking.
Girl, please. Yes, indeed.
Well, I think it's now time for True Blue.
All right. So this week we have Ladara, and her question is, what were romantic scenes like with people you consider family? Was it ever weird or awkward?
Yes. I think it was awkward to kiss TC.
Was it?
Yeah, because we felt very much like brother and sister. And since we are born on the same day, we're very much aligned.
It was weird. It was fun too, though. That's so good.
And then that face that she made, too much pressure. It's like, oh my gosh.
You know, because you'd be looking at me and your eyes be shining and wondering.
I'm
like,
acting.
yes, you did.
I'm
and you were.
acting.
But I did, you know, but
Yeah,
I
did you have to
actually
be
felt
in
very,
it?
well, no, I felt very, when you feel like somebody's looking at you and you're like, oh gosh, I feel very shy. Like when he would look at me and be like, come here, baby. And I'd be like, oh God, I don't want to be shy. And I was shy.
Oh.
And also for you, you hadn't been with lots and lots and lots of men. Like
No,
it was
no.
Richard
I married
and
the
then
second-
him.
Exactly.
You know, Richard,
It's
you
true.
married the second man and
I ever dated in TC.
and TC.
Wow.
Now
I
you've
didn't
had
realize
thousands of
that.
them since then. No,
Yeah,
no,
in Hollywood.
No, no, not at all.
What did you say?
No, no, I'm laughing.
Just went
I'm
right
doing
over
the
your
opposite.
head.
The opposite because she's always said, well, there's some stuff that she's been saying that's been like, you're not road tested. You're
I
not
wish
road
my
tested.
pussy had gone on the road more.
my.
There's
There
no
you
doubt
go.
about
Okay,
it.
okay.
So,
You know, I would put it out
you
there.
living in Cleveland now, right? How long you been in Cleveland?
He's still.
I wish it had been more of an off-road vehicle. It didn't have to stay in one lane all the time.
How about those Browns, huh?
What kind of self-discipline
It's
that
gonna be a
takes?
great
I had
season.
it. I had it.
I think. 'Cause we got
Every now and then.
we got Coach Prime's
nice.
son, Shador
Uh-huh.
Sanders. Yeah.
Let's go.
For me,
Fabulous.
I would
Yes,
say,
Thank you, Kim.
actually,
Bring us back.
it was quite a delight. I was a fan of John Hinton. I was so enamored of you as a performer. I watched you on The Tonight Show that night. After that, you became a star. And when I heard that you were going to be playing on this show, and I was like, ooh, this is nice. You know, and because I was there early on, I knew that Yvette was going to put the two of us together. I was very excited, very delighted, and certainly who wouldn't be attracted to you? So very attracted. So I appreciated our scenes. We had been working together, and so I felt safe in your arms.
What she's
So
saying,
I
she's
enjoyed
a
it.
star.
Oh gosh, why does she go there?
It's
And
true.
I'm
The way you set it up.
I'm sure we both have heard people talk about the sweetness of Overton and Sinclair and the romantic nature, and that here was a man that wooed this woman and courted her, I think, to use your term. And so people really looked at that in a beautiful light.
Yeah.
And someone said that if the two of them had been on another show, we would have been at least nominated for Emmys, because you hadn't seen that in a Black couple, and it was beautiful to play.
Remember the first time we kissed and the audience, and I was high-fiving people because the audience wanted this, man.
They did.
So we had to do it, and it was easy working with you because they got the mints right there. We take mints, and the breath. My breath is so fresh and so clean. Nobody dope as me. We take it. We got the mints and everything. It was good. My accountant asked me. He said, "Boy, is Kim Coles a good kisser?" And I said, "Cause he could tell, cause we was kissing for real." And he said, "Boy, it sure look like this. It sure look." And I was like, "Look here, man." And I was getting paid for that too. I was on the clock. That was the best
I
part.
said that all the time. That
Yeah.
they kissed you and get paid for it was my delight.
Oh, that was it was fun. It was like fresh breath and nice lips. And look here, no, nothing awkward about this. I tell you what. Look how
When
I'm
y'all
looking.
would break apart, you would walk away kind of drunk, and Kim would smack her lips like. I mean, it was hilarious.
As in characters or as ourselves?
Both.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have that effect on
Because
men.
sometimes she put it on you like that.
And then she would be like,
"You got to be ready for all of that." Because we were actors, we was just professionals.
We were professionals.
We were
We're
so
doing our
professional.
job. It was on the page.
We
You had us
expect a
fooled.
certain level of professionalism.
Well
That's right.
done.
The perks of the
Indeed.
profession.
Indeed. Hey.
I kept it fresh.
Yep.
In the puss.
I kept it out. I kept it
Good
fresh for you, bro.
My God.
You're welcome. Well, that's our show. Anything for the show.
That is our show. Thank you, TC
Thank you.
and John Hinton.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bravo. Big claps
Thank you,
all
John.
around.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, my brother.
Yes,
Good
sir.
to see my sister.
We've been waiting for this a long time, and everybody's going to be thrilled.
Hey, we love y'all.
Absolutely.
Just as long as y'all know that.
And did you just say fabulous?
Fabulous.
Oh,
Because that's what they do.
Aren't they?
If you want to send in a True Blue question, you can do that to the email that will be provided below me right now.
And please follow, like, subscribe, all of those things. Thank you. That's our show.
That's our show.
Reliving Single is hosted by me, Erica Alexander.
And me, Kim Coles.
Reliving Single is a production of Heartbeat in association with Color Farm Media.
Executive produced by Kevin Hart, Jeff Clanagan, Eric Eddings, Leslie Guam, Erica Alexander, and Ben Arnad.
The show is produced by Kim Coles.
Amber Watson is our senior producer.
Our associate producer is Kenny Jackson.
Our video editor is Nee Kirschman.
Our sound engineers are Eric Hicks and Cedric Wilson.
Production supervision by Razak Boykin and Brett Calkins.
Additional production support from Alex Atkins and Z Taylor.
Special thanks to BK Augustine and Dr. E.J. Johnson.